2:38 left to go here in the first. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. It looks like I have something coming up on the broadcast, but I haven't seen it pop up on the iPad yet. Eliasson gets it back to the far point. Finlay holds it in. That slips back out into the neutral zone. Now coming around with it, Gargiulo feeding it ahead. And knocked back. Outside the near circle it goes. Warham has it. Warham has it knocked away by Proctor. 5:11 left to go, trying to feed it out in front. And looks like we have a stream back up. Let me try and fix the scoreboard here. And hopefully that'll good. So 1-0. Ann Arbor with the lead. Hopefully you can take a look now at the Arbor Broadcasting homepage and find the new stream. That knockdown. We'll try and put everything together later tonight. That pulled through back into the Dearborn zone. Knocked down. Bringing it ahead is Spence. Spence feeds it in along the near boards. That gathered in by Evans. Evans into the near corner. Pull back around. Tipped right back behind Poneth. Grabbing it is Kolwich. Kolwich coming ahead with it. All the way back deep. The puck into the far corner. Back to the far point. Oh, that slips right back behind Kolwich. Trying to gather it around. As now looks like some folks found the stream. I appreciate that. That is going to be an offsides right back outside the near face-off circle. Ann Arbor up 1-0, 3:59 left to go. That fired in by Schroeder. Now Katie German trying to get it out of the zone. Swanson has it at the far point. That poke back. Now that puck in along the near boards. Fossey has it. Fossey bringing it ahead. Knocked down. Katie German trying to get to it. That right back behind. Bryce bringing it around. Bryce feeds it down the far boards. And Soli has it on the far circle. Knocked away by Malashevsky. Here comes Christensen. Christensen down the near boards. Christensen over center. That grabbed, and Schroeder trying to get it out of the zone. Now Christensen with a shot. That goes all the way around. Collegian has it outside the far circle, bringing it ahead. 3:18 left to go here in the first period. The puck out into the neutral zone. Schroeder brings it into the zone, top of the near circle with the shot. Great job to knock it away. Bringing it ahead is Christensen, as Katie German had the good block shot. The puck into the near corner, pulled back around. Collegian has it at her own blue line. Collegian ahead, trying to get it to Pirro. That comes back right back behind Poneth as Matthews has it. Matthews ahead to Christensen right outside of the near circle. That brought ahead into the neutral zone. Finlay knocks it off the far boards. Now Warham trying to get it ahead. That puck right to the Ann Arbor blue line. Up and into the bench. .238 left to go here in the first. Live from Yost Ice Arena, the puck forwarded ahead by Eliasson, stolen away by Schroeder, back into her own zone. Finlay chases it for Dearborn into the near corner, sweeping it around. Again, Ann Arbor in the white jerseys, Dearborn in those dark blue sweaters. There's a shot. Oh, that just goes wide as Hahn helps it into the near corner. Simmer has it pinned against the boards. Now outside the near circle is DeCreasy. DeCreasy battling with Pirro. They're knocked away by Vandenheuvel. Now sent around. Pirro has it. McCarthy trying to hold it in and back into the neutral zone where Matthews has it at center ice. Gets it right back to McCarthy. That got stuck in her skates. That'd be a bad feeling when all of a sudden the puck disappears on you. Here comes Matthews right to the Dearborn blue line. Savage trying to run down the blue line, but here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy loses an edge. That gathered in by Warham and fired all the way down. That banked off of the near boards. Kolwich trying to get to it. That'll be icing, and that'll head into the Dearborn zone. Well, the upside is because we had a little issue, we now have a better stream. So apparently my equipment just wanted me to restart. And fired ahead, Izzy German trying to get it into the slot for Proctor. That knocked back to the near point. Izzy German holding it in. That to Gargillo. And shot went off of Vandenheuvel. Vandenheuvel sends it along the far boards. Now trying to pick it up. That loose, and that is going to be offsides. 1 minute, 21 seconds left to go. Here in the first, Ann Arbor up 1-0. Face off right at center ice. And back over. Kowalski gathers it over center ice, feeds it down the far boards. Here comes Kolich. Kolich dumps it into the zone, into the far corner. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go in the first. That around. Proctor trying to grab it in the near corner. That's sent back. Now Spence feeds it along the near boards. Trying to bring it ahead is Garbasic. Rubin has it right at the Dearborn blue line. That brought ahead into the Ann Arbor zone. Now Proctor banks it off the near board, trying to get it away from Garbasic. Coming in is Kowalski with the shot blocker, saved by Poneth, and brings it over to her glove and covers it up. 40 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0, Ann Arbor with the lead. They scored first last night. As Garbasic goes into the box, that is going to be a Dearborn penalty. I believe that was a holding call. At 40 seconds, so Ann Arbor is on the power play with the 1-0 lead. Lindahl sends it right back behind Hahn. Now Swanson trying to grab it into the far corner. And pulled back over, spinning with it. Lindahl poked away. On the far circle, shot. That goes right back behind the goal. Zafman trying to get it out of the zone and succeeds as that cleared all the way back. 17 seconds left to go in the period. Rubin has it right back behind her own goal. 10 seconds left to go. And brought ahead, Katie German banks it off the far boards. Evans has it, 5 seconds left. Ann Arbor. That given away. Here comes Zafman. Zafman with the shot, but not before the horn sounds, and Ann Arbor will take the 1-0 lead into the first intermission. They will have 1 minute, 20 seconds left right after that. Let's play the victors and come back, and thank you all for finding us again. We are very, very grateful that you are here and watching a little bit of afternoon hockey. Very, very grateful. Let's play a little bit of the victors. first intermission. It is Ann Arbor 1 and Dearborn nothing. As let's take a look at our ACHA scoreboard reports. As taking a look at scores yesterday, it was Amherst beating Rhode Island by a score of 4-1 at Pagula Ice Arena. It was Penn State falling to Adrian College. Adrian won that one 9-2. 4 goals in the first, 4 goals in the second, 1 in the third. Gives Adrian 9. Davenport hosted Aquinas. Aquinas won that one 10-3. No score reported between Arizona State and Liberty. That at Oceanside Ice Arena. That should be the arena that Ann Arbor will go out and play Arizona at. Coming up after the first of the year. We know it was yesterday Ann Arbor beating Dearborn 4-3 in the Battle of the Wolverines in overtime. And then at the Laramie Event Center, Wyoming fell to Montana State by a score of 8-3. It was Indiana Tech beating Grand Valley State by a score of 4-1. That over at in Fort Wayne. And then Minot State University hosted Midland. Midland won that one 2-1. I doubt there's any scores reported as of yet today, but nothing listed there as of yet. Lots of games going on today. At 1 o'clock Mountain Time, so 3 o'clock local time, Montana State is hosting University of Colorado. At 5 o'clock Eastern Time, it's Grand Valley State University hosting Indiana Tech. Michigan State hosts Miami University at 8 p.m., 8:20 over at Munn Ice. Or no, that's going to be at Suburban Ice Arena, so that's not going to be at Munn. Then at 10:20 p.m. Central Time, that'll be 11:20 Eastern Time, Lindenwood hosts Maryville University. If you want a little late-night hockey, if they have a stream, you can check that out. At 4 o'clock Eastern Time, so starting half an hour before us, it was University of Rhode Island hosting University of Massachusetts Amherst. At 9:30 tonight, Penn State hosts Adrian College. 7:30 Eastern Time, it's Aquinas hosting Davenport. At 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Liberty at Arizona State. And then at 8:30 Eastern Time, Minot hosts Midland University. It's been a crazy couple of days as far as sports go. If you're a Michigan fan, you may or may not be paying attention to this crazy football games that are going on. And at halftime, a couple football scores. New Mexico up on Valparaiso 35-3. It's Troy beating Coastal Carolina 35-0. And already in the SEC Championship, number 1 Georgia has a 21-7 lead on number 14 LSU. That at 14:43 left to go in the second. In the Mountain West Championship, Boise has the 3-0 lead over Fresno with 9:13 left to go in the second. And Tulane has the lead on UCF 10-0 in the AAC Championship with 7:28 left to go in the second. Finals from earlier today or this weekend. Toledo wins the MAC Championship over Ohio University. And interesting enough, Eastern Michigan actually was co-division champions with Toledo. Kansas State in overtime beat TCU 31-28, so the number 3 team in the nation goes down. It was Buffalo beating Akron on Friday 23-22. University of Texas San Antonio beat North Texas in the Conference USA Championship 48-27. And of course the big game last night, number 4 USC going down versus Utah, where we were just at a couple weekends ago, won that one 47-24. So I'm sure all those folks you saw in Salt Lake City are having a dandy old time winning the Pac-12 for the second year in a row. My only hope is obviously this probably means that the Buckeyes are back in. Hopefully Michigan takes care of business this evening versus Purdue, and then you just really hope, at least for me, I hope that Michigan and Ohio State don't have to square off in the first game of the playoffs. It'd be nice if they could both play other people, and then a national championship between those two teams would be very interesting to say the least. On the ice, taking a look, it is 0-0 between Michigan and Wisconsin. Number 13 was Michigan facing off in Madison at the Kohl Center. 18:44 left to go in the first versus number 26, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, we'll talk about this in a second intermission, won the game yesterday by a score of 6-4 over the Wolverines. Other NCAA men's scores, Niagara has the 3-0 lead over Army. And it is pregame between Maine and Vermont. Everything else is happening later today. We'll see if we can get some NCAA women's Division I scores at the second intermission as well. Well, we got 7:18 left to go here at the first intermission. Ann Arbor up 1-0 over University of Michigan Dearborn. At this point in time, let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Ann Arbor squad is back out onto the ice, gathering around their coaching staff. Again, the Ann Arbor squad in the white sweaters this evening with the dark blue numbers on the back and on the shoulders. Michigan in block lettering across the front and the numbers small on the front. Dearborn in the dark blue jerseys with the numbers in maize on the back. And on the shoulders, big block M on the front, with Dearborn in block lettering underneath that. 20 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to go in period number 2. Live from Yost Ice Arena, looking down on Red Berenson Rink. Ann Arbor starts off on the power play with 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the Grabasic penalty. So she skates over and gets into the box. Ann Arbor skating from right to left here in the second period. As Swanson in to take the face-off versus Schroeder right at center ice. Evans to Swanson's left, Lindahl to her right. Now Evers off. They had 5 players out on the ice. They have to put 4 there due to the penalty kill. And over as Ann Arbor had knocked away. Coming in is Sinsoli. Great job by Rubin to pull away an opportunity for Dearborn. Coming ahead down the near boards is Evans. Evans gains his zone. That poked away back into the neutral zone. Rubin has to reset. Gets it back over to Katie German. Katie German and ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl has it. Now that pulled away by Schroeder, and a whistle. There's going to be a hooking call. That at 19:33. And Spence goes into the box for hooking. And we have a 53-second 5-on-3. Ann Arbor squad with 2 extra skaters as that pulled away. Evans has it outside the far circle. Evans puts it back to the blue line over to Katie German. Katie German, top of the far circle for Evans. Evans moves it into the far corner. Back to Evans, top of the far circle. Lindahl with a shot, trying to fire it out in front. That deflected off of Swanson's stick. Loose back behind. Now Swanson trying to fire it out in front. That went off of one of the Dearborn players' skates, I believe. Schroeder deflected right to Hahn. Hahn able to hold on. 31 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. 1:38 left to go in the second penalty. 19 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here in the second. As DeCrazy has it, pinned against the boards, trying to get it away from Fossey. Now that pull back around. Here comes Ann Arbor into the near corner as Proctor has it. Proctor trying to get it over to Gargiulo as Zafman trying to knock it away. Now DeCrazy has it in the near corner of the zone. 10 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Levinson able to hold it in at the near point. Levinson now spinning with it. Levinson moves it over outside the near circle to Gargiulo. Down to a 5-on-4 for 1 minute, 3 seconds. That deflected. DeCrazy trying to get to it. Fossey trying to fire it over. Now that pull back. Here comes Pirro. Pirro skating down into the Ann Arbor zone. Pirro has that tipped away. Great job by Gargiulo. Good defense into the near corner. Pirro trying to pull that back. The puck outside the near circle. 40 seconds left to go in the Ann Arbor advantage. Levinson has it in the far corner. Levinson goes back behind Ponik. Sends it in along the near boards. Back grab by Zafman. Zafman sends it right back as Gargiulo has it outside the far circle. And the penalty kill for Dearborn has been outstanding this period as that fired ahead right to center ice. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl into the zone. Lindahl trying to put it in front, and that covered up by Hahn. Trying to get it out in front, get a Swanson a chance, and just couldn't get everything on that puck. 12 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4. Face-off is to Hans Wright in the near face-off circle. A little confusion as to personnel, and now they have things out. Rubin in to take the face-off versus Vanden Heuvel. Lindahl gets it over. Evans with a shot. Saved by Hahn. Evans outside the far circle. Back to the far point to Katie German. Katie German, that shot just goes wide to the near side. The puck trying to cycle it back outside the near circle. Here comes Rubin. Rubin feeds it out into the slot. And fired all the way back by Vanden Heuvel into the Ann Arbor zone. And Dearborn back to full strength as Katie German has it back behind Ponitz. She's run off of the puck, trying to get back to it. Kolwich trying to pull it away as Katie German lost her stick. Had a head tipped into the neutral zone. Pulled back by Warren. Warren trying to feed it ahead. And slips into the Dearborn zone. Into the near corner. Finlay with it. Finlay goes from the near side to the far side. Back behind her own goal. Puts it in along the far boards. Now bringing ahead Sinsoli over center ice. Sinsoli outside the near circle. That tips in along the end boards. Katie German trying to get it out. Sinsoli plays it off of her body on the far circle now. Sinsoli comes high, slot now over top of the near circle. Sinsoli still with it. Goes back in along the end boards, trying to fire it that off the side of the net. Trying to put it right out in front in the slot. Here comes Swanson down the far boards of the neutral zone. Swanson gains the Dearborn zone. That comes into the near corner. Warham tips that right back behind her own goal. Now Warham has it underneath the near circle. Warham fires that, ricochets off the far circle. That comes back, and Ponith has to cover it up and make the save. 16-12 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Ann Arbor with the lead. Dearborn able to kill off a just underneath a minute of 5-on-3 hockey. Vanden Heuvel taking the face off versus Malashevsky. That loose in the slot bed, and that'll come skittering all the way down as Hano have to play that over to Fossey. Fossey right back behind her own goal. Puts it into the far corner. Now that's swung in along the near boards to Collegian. Collegian outside the near circle for Dearborn. Collegian comes bringing it ahead over her own blue line. Now racing down the far boards is Fossey. Fossey top of the far circle. That shot goes wide as Vanden Heuvel has it right back behind the puck on the near circle. Here comes Ann Arbor. And deflected off of Welke's skates. Here comes Matthews. Matthews on the near circle. Matthews with a wrister. Blocker saved by Hahn. Matthews into the near corner. Gets it back to Levinson with a shot that goes wide to the near side. Pirro has it outside the far circle for Dearborn, and there's a whistle as DeCreasy and Fossey get tied up. As looks like they'll both go into the box for roughing. That at 15-16. So both Ann Arbor and Dearborn penalty. DeCreasy and Fossey for roughing. So we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes. And at the 15-16 mark here in the second, Ann Arbor with the 1-goal lead. That face-off is going to be to Hans Wright in the near face-off circle. And comes around into the far corner. Spence puts it back underneath the near circle for Zafman. Zafman back over to Spence and along the far boards. Gargiulo pokes that away. That goes back to Garbasic. Now coming down the near boards is Kowalski. Kowalski into the Ann Arbor zone. Outside the near circle. Kowalski fires it into the slot. Pulled away by Proctor in along the far board. She gets it back into the neutral zone. Zafman knocks it off the far boards going the other direction. Gathered up by Katie German. Katie German into the zone. High slot. Katie German on the near circle. Trying to get a shot off. Wouldn't settle down for the wrister. Katie German with a point-blank shot from the inner corner of the far circle. Saved by Hahn as that comes skittering back into the Ann Arbor zone. Trying to avoid pressure by Garbasic. Coming ahead with it is Rubin. Rubin has it poked away. Ann Arbor has to retouch to avoid the delayed offsides as Rubin was tangled up with Spence. 1 minute left to go in 4-on-4 hockey. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That's just outside of the Dearborn zone. as the official over to give Coach Capit an explanation. They're going to put it right back at center ice. That swept back. Izzy German chases it outside the far circle of her own zone. Moves it over to Levinson. Levinson tips it ahead. Held in by Warham and into the near corner. Trying to grab it is Schroeder. Now Rubin outside the near circle of her own zone. Comes over to Warham. Warham for Dearborn. Outside the near circle in the Ann Arbor zone. That comes right back behind Connick. Izzy German pokes it around the near boards. And held in at the near point by Schroeder. Schroeder lifts it back. Cinsoli now moves it over to Finlay. Back to Cinsoli, top of the near circle. That shot goes wide and along the far boards. Lindahl trying to knock it off the far boards. That held in by Finlay. Now Izzy German sweeps it around the boards. Back over to the near point where Warham has it. Warham with a shot. That a pad save into the near corner by Bonif. The puck trying to grab it is Lindahl. Lindahl trying to feed it again. Finlay working hard against the boards, not letting Ann Arbor get that puck out of the zone. It's pinned in along the end boards. Rubin trying to pull that away. Garbasic in there trying to get it as well, I believe. No, that's Cinsoli, excuse me. There's 3 Wolverines, five Wolverines, 2 from Ann Arbor, 2 from Dearborn, battling in along the end boards. Now Levinson comes away, and that is going to be a penalty. As 4-on-4 had just ended, and we're going to go right back to it. As both Garbasic and Rubin go in. That at 12:55, I believe that was roughing again, the call. Physical game so far as Ann Arbor up 1-0, a goal in the first. Half fired ahead by Katie German, chasing it into the near corner and pulled away by Pirro outside the near circle of her own zone. Poked back outside the near circle, bringing it ahead was Zafman. Half fired back deep by Katie German. Now Matthews sends it around the boards, trying to get it. Pirro picks it up outside the far circle. Back behind the goal, going from the far side of the near side. Bryce comes into pinch, right at the near point, backhands it deep into the near corner. Here comes Simmer. Simmer trying to backhand it out in front. That went right off of Spence's skate into the corner. She loses an edge. And whistle. Spence still down on the ice. Now Ann Arbor will be shorthanded. I thought she lost an edge, but the official is in better spot than I am. So that looks like it's going to be a tripping, and that is going to be a 12-14. So we'll have some 5-on-3 hockey. There's going to be a lot of ice out there. 4-on-3, excuse me. Yeah, 4-on-3 hockey, excuse me. For 1 minute and 19 seconds, then it will be a power play for 41 seconds for Dearborn. As face-off in the far face-off circle. That's a right upon it. DeCrazy in to take the face-off versus Kowalski. Now the official stops things. As that brought back, fired all the way down the ice. Ann Arbor able to clear it. 12:10 left to go. Hahn puts it in along the near boards. Gathered up by Fossey. Fossey has it just outside her own blue line, coming over center ice. Fossey has that tipped away by DeCrazy, battling right in front of the Dearborn bench. And moved over to Warham. Warham gains the Ann Arbor zone. That popped up high on the near circle. Warham fires it out in front. As that tipped away, as coming over, right back behind the goal. Levinson fires it all the way down the ice. Here comes DeCrazy. DeCrazy with the breakaway. DeCrazy trying to get around Warham. Warham able to tip that away. There is going to be a penalty for tripping. as Warham goes into the box for tripping. That at 11:32, so physical game so far, and penalty box is getting a lot of use as it is going to be coming ahead with it. Moving it along the near boards is Welke. That tipped away by Levinson, pulling in outside the near circle as we have 3-on-3 hockey going on as the puck into the far corner. Katie German gets it over to Levinson. Levinson bringing it up the near board. As that coming along, tipped back away. It's the first two penalties about to expire with 8 seconds left to go. The puck on the far circle, firing it, banking it off the far boards. It's Katie German. And all the way back. Now we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute 20 seconds, and then Ann Arbor will have a power play with a shot, and Rubin with the save. Power play. Rubin with the shot. Puts it in. Ann Arbor up 2-0. I was trying to do calculus with an abacus here to get all the penalties figured out. And Rubin goes down and just fires it just inside the near inner corner of the near circle and put it in. So the captain with a goal at 10:47. At an even strength goal, so none of the penalties expire. As the puck right back, Spence has it deep in the Dearborn zone. Spence takes it in along the end board. Spence outside the far circle. And fired back into the neutral zone. Kolwich with it. Kolwich dropped back to her own blue line over to Izzy German. Izzy German down the far boards. Right at the blue line. Lindahl comes over. Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl putting it out, and Hunt able to get a pad on it outside the near circle. Into the neutral zone. Kolwich waits for Ann Arbor to touch back up. Now that fired right into the neutral zone over to Pirro. Gathered in by Safeman. Zafman has it outside the near circle. Zafman. That pass deflected. Here comes Matthews. 26 seconds left on 4-on-4 hockey. Then Ann Arbor will have about 1:30 of a power play. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That DePonet's left. Matthews versus Kowalski into the near corner. Kolwich with it. Kolwich has it popped back over. Now firing it into the neutral zone. That deflects all the way down as Spence picks it up back behind her own goal. Coming in along the far boards. Here comes Savage. Savage over own blue line down. In, fires it deep into the Ann Arbor zone. Levinson gates it into the near corner, fires it into the neutral zone. Racing over to get its Fossey at her own blue line. Fossey over own blue line, coming down the far boards of the neutral zone. Fossey sweeps it ahead. Now trying to get to it is McCarthy. McCarthy loses an edge, that into the far corner. Savage back to the far point to Kowalski. Kowalski outside the far circle. Kowalski loses the handle. DeCreasy trying to tip it out, and that shot covered up by Bonnet. 9:03 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Ann Arbor with the lead. It's been a penalty-filled second period. Ann Arbor on the power play now for 49 seconds. And coming, top of the far circle, spinning with it, Sinsoli. Sinsoli sends it back, trying to get it over the shoulder. Now Evers trying to pull that away. Poke back behind underneath the far circle. Back to the far point for Fossey. Fossey feeds it outside the far circle for Sinsoli. Sinsoli goes high slot. Now puts it top of the near circle. Shot. Or excuse me, yeah, that's a power play for Dearborn. Forgive me. I know. The Michigan and Michigan up there throws me every once in a while. So there's never too much maize in blue, but for a poor announcer, sometimes it leads to confusion. I'm more than willing to admit that. Schroeder has it on the near circle. That put into the near corner. Pulling it back. Sinsoli sends it, then gets it back top of the near circle. Sinsoli just outside the near circle, gets it over to Finlay, high slot back to Sinsoli. Just at the outer edge. Now Finlay with a shot, that loose into the near corner, and Ann Arbor back to full strength as Simmer gets out of the box, trying to poke that away. Schroeder going from the near side to the far side, firing it into the slot. Great job by Katie German to put it over. She goes over a stick, and that's going to be a tripping call to Dearborn, as Ann Arbor now will go on the power play. I know I said they were earlier, but now they actually are. .757, Dearborn penalty. That to Evers for tripping. 2-0, Ann Arbor with the lead. Opportunity to add more. Dearborn love to get a shorthanded goal here. Try and cut into that lead. Swanson has it now. Evans puts it back. Top of the far circle for Katie German. That deflected by Piero. Fired down, and that went off of the linesman's skate, coming all the way back into the Ann Arbor zone. Stopped there by Poneth. Right back behind her own net. Vandenheuvel trying to provide pressure for Dearborn. Over to Evans. Evans avoids Piero. Piero has speed coming over. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl trying to fire it out in front, and nobody home. Comes top of the near circle. Levinson trying to get to it. Here comes Vandenheuvel. Vandenheuvel, great defensive play out there by Rubin. Rubin feeds it into the neutral zone, trying to get to Lindahl, and shoveled ahead by Spence. Here comes Levinson down the near boards, over Rome blue line. Levinson fires it deep into the Dearborn zone as Spence chases it outside the far circle of her own zone. Tries to get it back into the neutral zone. That goes down the dashers into the Ann Arbor zone. Picked up there by Piero. Piero has it in the far corner. Piero trying to knock that away. 43 seconds left to go. Here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy gains the zone. Top of the near circle. DeCreasy with a shot. And deflection. Good save by Hahn. That cleared all the way down into the Ann Arbor zone. 29 seconds left to go. Gathered up by Kowalski on the far circle. Trying to get it over to Wara. And that pulled away by DeCreasy as Wara had it right in the slot. Coming over. Moved in by Rubin. Rubin on the far circle. Centering attempt. DeCreasy trying to hit a bouncing puck. Couldn't get everything on it. That outside the near circle. DeCreasy still trying to get it away from Wara. DeCreasy now outside the near circle. DeCreasy fires it top of the far circle. Dearborn back to full strength. Katie German trying to avoid Evers coming out of the box and trying to pick that up. Now Katie German comes in. Katie German with the backhanded goal. Oh, she came down. She grabbed the puck, avoided Evers coming out, skated all the way down on the far circle, backhanded it, and caught it inside that inner near post. That makes it 3-0 on the Katie German goal. And at 5:43, three to nothing, Ann Arbor. And fed ahead and along the near boards, chasing it is Welke. Welke has it underneath the near circle, rims it all the way around the boards. Gets it over to Evers. Evers feeds it over now, coming over Sinsoli. Sinsoli trying to get into the slot. Poke checked away by Poneth as that comes down, spinning all the way back into the Dearborn zone. Trying to feed it ahead is Finlay. That'll be icing and come all the way back into the Ann Arbor zone. 5:15 left to go here in the second. 3-0. Ann Arbor with the lead. Well, it ended up tied at 3-3 yesterday before going into overtime, so no lead safe as this Dearborn team still battling hard. The puck in the near corner, trying to pull that away is, I believe that's Kolwich over there. Now trying to come ahead is Malashevsky. Malashevsky and Sinsoli trying to knock that away. Welke picks it up there at own blue line and feeds it back into the Ann Arbor zone. As that in along the near boards, Kolwich trying to get to it. Now Sinsoli puts it into the slot. Wouldn't settle down for Schroeder, who has it outside the far circle. But a good attempt. And back. Sent. Tipped away. Good job by Goldman to try and knock it away from Wilkie out in front. Backhanded pass right through the slot by Schroeder. Here comes Ann Arbor as that puck off of the near boards back into the Dearborn zone. Murphy feeding ahead. Here comes Evers. Evers gains the Ann Arbor zone. Evers, high slot. At the shot, Poneth with the save, and Collegian right there. Great job by Poneth to not give away a rebound. 4:17 left to go here in the second. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That to Poneth's left. Gargiulo in to take the face-off versus Vanden Heuvel. And puck into the near corner, grabbing it. Rimming it around is Levinson. Collegian trying to get to it. Proctor trying to poke it away off of that far wall. Now that comes loose on the near circle as a shot by Vanden Heuvel. Vanden Heuvel outside the far circle. Vanden Heuvel comes high slot now top of the near circle. Vanden Heuvel with the shot, saved by Poneth. Another shot off the side of the net, and they score as they were able to wrap it around, and Poneth not quite able to get to the far side quick enough. Great job, but even better goal, as that looks like that's going to be Vanden Heuvel who put it in. That at 3:50. And now it's a 2-goal game. Ann Arbor with the lead. Dearborn with the last goal. Kowalski in to take the face-off versus Matthews right at center ice. Bringing it ahead is DeCreasy. Now here comes Simmer with the shot. Save. Simmer with the other shot. That went off of the side of the net. Coming back over. Trying to feed it. Here comes Bryce. Banked off of the near boards into the neutral zone. Katie German trying to shovel it right back into the Dearborn end. Katie German trying to pull it away from Savage as that'll be whistled and they'll drop the puck. There has been some epic battles on the boards between these two squads. As a physical game so far, face-off will be in the near face-off circle. Outside of the Dearborn zone, Kowalski in to take the face-off. Rubin on the other side. Evans wins it back over to Bryce. Bryce at her own blue line trying to get it ahead to Evans. Evans feeds it. Back behind the puck outside the far circle. Gerbasic trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Evans. Evans has it on the far circle. Evans with the shot. Saved by Hahn. Puck loose. And sent along the far boards trying to get it out of the zone. Katie German fires it right back in. Now picked up by Fossey. Fossey gets it over to Garbasic right in front of the Ann Arbor bench. Garbasic comes into the Ann Arbor zone into the far corner. Garbasic right back behind the goal. Picked up by Rubin. Rubin trying to get it ahead to Evans. Knocked down by Warham. Now Kowalski has it. That's going to be a penalty to Katie German as she went and made contact, and that'll be a tripping call to Katie German. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Malashevsky in to take the face-off. That versus Schroeder. Izzy German trying to feed it ahead. That to the high slot over to Zafman, excuse me. And back outside the far circle. Back, Zafman has it. Zafman, top of the far circle. Shot and saved by Poneth. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the second. 3-1, Ann Arbor with the lead. Dearborn with the last goal in there on the power play for 1 minute, 43 seconds left. DeCreasy wins it back. That fired and cleared all the way down as it saucers deep into the Dearborn end. Spence picks it up, goes back behind her own goal. Back there trying to provide pressure is Simmer. And fed out. DeCreasy trying to get it, but the puck wouldn't settle down. Here comes Schroeder into the Ann Arbor zone. On the far circle, Schroeder goes back behind the goal, trying a wraparound attempt. That knocked away. Good job by Ponith. Now Kolwich fires it back into the neutral zone. Spence has it at center ice, feeds it down the far boards. Izzy German has it there. Izzy German lifts it and all the way down the ice. Good job to clear. 1 minute left to go in the Dearborn power play. As Spence has it back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. That brought ahead. Down the far boards. Now that goes back in along the end boards. Levinson trying to pull it away. That puck loose. Still trying to poke it away. Now that comes back underneath the far circle. Back to the far point for Spence. Spence with the shot. Saved by Ponith. Oh, right out in front was Piro, but Ponith got the save and able to cover it up. One minute, 13 seconds left to go here in the second. 3-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. Power play for Dearborn as Kowalski has it on the far circle, pulled away by Levinson. Levinson feeds it ahead. That knocked down by Fossey at center ice. Fossey trying to tip that away with Swanson. She loses her stick. Hits it back. That fed back to Kowalski. Now Finlay, that knocked down by Swanson. Swanson comes in. Swanson with a backhanded shot and a save by Hahn. A good job for Swanson to play it off the body and get it down and get a shot away. But Hahn, very good goalkeeping. Keeping right in front of it, not overreacting. 13 seconds left in the Dearborn power play. 50.8 seconds left to go in the second. Comes back to the far point. That shot by McCarthy. Spinning puck right back behind the Dearborn goal. Vanden Heuvel has it. Vanden Heuvel ahead to Kowalski. Kowalski over center ice. Kowalski into the Ann Arbor zone on the far circle. Backhanded shot and a save by Ponith. 33.4 seconds left to go here in the second. Ann Arbor back to full strength. Face-off will be in the Ann Arbor zone. Face-off in the far face-off circle to Ponith's right. That puck fired, held in, now out. Here comes a breakaway by Lindahl. Lindahl racing down. Lindahl makes a move and puts it in. Very similar to the goal yesterday. Lindahl came in, made a move to the far side, then deked and stuffed it just inside the post on the near side. Hahn did her best to stay with it, but that was a beautiful move by Lindahl. And we got a wonderful note from her Lindahl's folks this morning, and we appreciate that, and it was very sweet of them. We appreciate that, and it is our pleasure to do our best to bring you Michigan women's hockey. Rubin pulls it around, 4-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. Evans with the shot. That goes against the boards. 14 seconds left to go. Here in the second, Lindahl pinned against the boards. Puck loose on the near circle. Kolwich with a shot that goes wide. High stick called. And pulled back over by Dearborn. 2 seconds left to go. 1 second, and that will do it for the second period. And boy, if we rerun what everything happened in the second, I have a sheet full of it. Started off with an Ann Arbor and Dearborn penalty at 15-16 for roughing. That was to Creasy and Fossey. Then again a Dearborn and Ann Arbor penalty at 12:55. That for roughing. That was between Rubin and Garbason. Then it was an Ann Arbor penalty at 12:14. That was a tripping call to Rubin. Dearborn penalty at 11:32. That was a tripping call to Warham. Ann Arbor goal at 10:47, as that was Rubin putting it in for Ann Arbor. Then it was a Dearborn penalty at 7:57. Tripping called that to Evers. And an Ann Arbor goal at 5:47, as that was Katie German who put it in. Dearborn answered back at 3:50, as it was Vanden Heuvel who scored for Dearborn. Then Ann Arbor put it in. There was a penalty, that a tripping call to, that was to Katie German at 2:37. Then with, what was that, about 20 seconds left. So it is 4-1. Goal by Lindahl and goal by Katie German. We got that one. So perfect. So goal by Lindahl with about 20 seconds left. Stole it, broke down came down the far side and made a nifty move through the crease, put it just in the far bar. And that's where we're at, 4-1, Ann Arbor with the lead. Let's take a look at our Michigan scoreboard reports. And taking a look at action yesterday at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational, wrestling was fourth after day one. And then in ice hockey, as we talked about, it was Wisconsin beating the men's NCAA hockey team 6-3 last night. See if we can get a score on that game today. It helps if I have the right app up. As that doesn't appear. 1-1 at the end of one. So now knotted up, Wisconsin and Michigan in NCAA men's hockey, 1 apiece. Other action happening today. Again, wrestling continuing at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational. As we talked about, it's 1-1 at the end of one between Wisconsin and Michigan, that in Madison. And then there's this little football game happening at 8 p.m. over on Fox down in Indianapolis. It's the Big Ten Championship game versus Purdue. And with all the conference championship games having big upsets, hopefully the Maize and Blue can take care of business this evening. Well, let's play a little bit of, actually, I pulled up some NCAA women's D1 scores. Let's go through a few of those, and then we'll play the Michigan Marching Band. Scoreboard for yesterday in women's Division I NCAA hockey. It was Mercyhurst beating RIT by a score of 5-1. It ended up 4-4 in overtime between Yale and Cornell. It was Colgate beating Brown, final 5-2. Princeton beat Rensselaer Polytechnic by a score of 5-1. It was Quinnipiac beating Union, shutting them out 5-0. Clarkston beat Harvard by a score of 5-1. It was St. Lawrence doubling up Dartmouth by a score of 4-2. Northeastern beat Vermont 3-1. New Hampshire shut out Connecticut by a score of 4-0. It was a final in overtime. Boston College beating Holy Cross by a score of 2-1. Maine shut out Boston University 3-0. Providence doubled up Merrimack by a score of 4-2. It was Post beating Franklin Pierce 2-1. LIU beat Sacred Heart by a score of 2-0. Lindenwood beat Stonehill in overtime 2-1. It was Wisconsin putting it on Bemidji State by a score of 13-1. Ohio State, the number one team in the nation, beat Minnesota Duluth by a score of 2-1. St. Cloud State beat St. Thomas 3-2, and it was Minnesota beating Minnesota State by a score of 4-1. I don't believe there are any finals for today yet, but let's double check that. Oh, I'm wrong. Couple scores. Penn State beat Syracuse by a score of 4-0. It was Mercyhurst on top of RIT 7-1. Union beat Princeton by a score of 4-1. It was Colgate topping Yale 5-3. Cornell beat Brown by a score of 4-2. Quinnipiac shut out Rensselaer Polytechnic 3-0. It was Clarkston beating Dartmouth 5-0. This did advance, right? Yes, it did advance. Okay, just making sure. Harvard beat St. Lawrence by a score of 2-1. It was Maine leading Boston University 2-1 with 3:13 left to go in the second. With 4:42 left to go in the third, it's Northeastern 3 and Vermont 1. Other finals, Boston College doubled up Holy Cross 4-2. It was number 9 Providence beating Merrimack by a score of 4-1, and Connecticut shut out New Hampshire by a score of 1-0. Other games happening: Franklin Pierce hosting Post, that just up drop right now. Same with Stonehill hosting Lindenwood, and Minnesota Duluth hosting Ohio State. Bemidji State fell to Wisconsin 1-0. It was St. Cloud doubling up St. Thomas by a score of 6-3, and they just had buck drop between Minnesota State and Minnesota. Well, it is the second intermission. You know what time it is. It's time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
Michigan Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome, from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his Blues Band.
teams coming out onto the ice for this third period. 4-1, Ann Arbor with the lead over Dearborn. And ended up going into overtime last night where Lindahl scored the goal in overtime to give the Ann Arbor squad the lead and the game. Ann Arbor trying to pull a big sweep over a very good Dearborn team. Dearborn looking to try and get a split. If anyone tells you that women's hockey isn't hard-nosed and physical in a tough game, just show them the second period of this game, or really any game between these two squads, and don't tell me they don't care, because both of these teams are playing their absolute guts out. And it is made for some exciting hockey. And again, we get to hear the victors a number of times, which is never, ever a bad thing. I guess unless you wear scarlet and gray, and then you probably don't appreciate it much, but that's okay. Schroeder in to take the face-off. Sinsoli to her left, Everett to her right, Rubin on the other side, Lindahl to her right, and Evans to her left. That comes back, firing it ahead. Izzy German, gathered up by Zafman. Now that over to Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl on the near circle coming in. And puck in along the end boards. Now saucers into the far corner. Sinsoli sends it back in along the end boards. Zafman trying to get that out in front. Lindahl with a shot, another shot. Oh, that just missed by an inch. The near post. Evers brings it back behind her own goal, rimming it around. Ann Arbor going from left to right. Here on your computer screen, that fire back. Evers gets it to the Ann Arbor blue line. DeCreasy coming down the far boards, getting it over to Matthews. Matthews gains the Dearborn zone. Matthews, top of the near circle, drop pass over to DeCreasy. Evers got her stick in the way. And off of Evers' skate, tried to go right out in front. Simmer with the shot, but a good save by Hahn. On the far circle, Matthews outside the far circle, puck loose. DeCreasy coming over with the shot. That went off of the defender into the near corner. Simmer with it. Simmer trying to pull it away from a pair of Dearborn Wolverines. Simmer into the far corner. Warren trying to pull that away. Now Matthews coming in to try and poke that away. Matthews comes from the far side and the near side. Tried to fire it out into the slot. That knocked down. Spence has it right back behind her own goal. Spence moves it over to Vanden Heuvel. Vanden Heuvel rims it around. That held in at the far point. Firing it back deep was Levinson. Right back behind the Dearborn goal. Now that's sent ahead to Evers. Held in by McCarthy at the near point. Now knocked down by Evers. Still held in by Eliasson. Now that's fired down by Warren all the way back to the Ann Arbor blue line. Gathered up there as Levinson gets it over to Proctor. Poked away. Coming down on the near side is Pirro. Pirro outside the near circle, trying to get in front. Pirro has that poked away. Great defensive play down there. Coming away with it is Gargiulo got her stick in the way. Knocked down, fired into the slot. Trying to pull it away was Eliasson. Now Levinson knocks it off the far boards. Vanden Heuvel back to the far point. Back to Vanden Heuvel outside the far circle. Shot and Poneth with the save. As Pirro was right out in front looking for a rebound, and Poneth did not oblige. 17:40 left to go here in the third. 4-1. Ann Arbor with the lead over Dearborn. And puck into the far corner. Malashevsky won it back to Bryce. Bryce back behind. Starbasic trying to get it in front. Now Katie German has it in along the far boards. Slips back into the neutral zone as Warren chases it into her own zone. Swanson trying to get to it. Now into the far corner. Warren battling Swanson. Coming over Goldman trying to pull that away. Finlay gets it to the near point. Katie German holds it in with a shot blocker save. And Hahn covers it up as it almost got caught in her equipment. As blocker save poked away and got caught a little bit on the blocker, went down, and Hahn did a good job to cover it up. That is going to be a cross-check penalty to Warham as Ann Arbor goes on the power play here in the third. That at 17-11. Physical play continues. Katie German has it at the near point, outside the near circle. And fired all the way down, cleared down the ice by Fossey. Stopped by Poneth. Poneth gets it over to Rubin. Rubin drops it over to Katie German. Sinsoli back there as well as Schroeder trying to provide pressure on Ann Arbor. Banked off of, or sent along the near boards to Rubin. Sent right back in by Schroeder. And picked back up by Katie German now coming ahead with it, trying to avoid Sinsoli over to Rubin. Rubin back. Rubin backhands it in along the far boards. Here comes Evans. Evans trying to feed it ahead. That knocked down into the far corner. That went right through the crease. Schroeder at outside the near circle. Dearborn has had some very good penalty killing in this game outside the near circle. Sinsoli with it. Sinsoli back to the near point. And fired, knocked down. Coming ahead with it is Evans. Evans feeds it down the far boards. Trying to get to it. That back in along the end boards. Fossey has it. Lindahl trying to pull it away. Lindahl underneath the near circle. Gets it to Gargiulo. Gargiulo outside the far circle. Back over, and it just slips past Levinson. Did everything she could, but the puck wouldn't settle down. Now, Vandenheuvel outside the near circle, coming ahead with it. Here comes Matthews. Matthews knocks it off the near board. Pirro trying to get it the other direction. Here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy trying to work through pressure. Back, poked into the Dearborn zone. Now sent the other direction into the Ann Arbor zone. 26 seconds left in the Ann Arbor power play. Pirro has it in the near corner. Levinson trying to knock that away. Gargiulo there as well. Levinson back behind her own goal. She loses an edge. Now trying to pull it away is Gargiulo, still levering, trying to poke, trying to get it away. Levinson has it into the far corner. Levinson brings it ahead. 5 seconds left to go in the Ann Arbor power play. Levinson over to Proctor at the near point. Proctor sending it down. Dearborn back to full strength. That puck back to the near point. Held in by Malashevsky. She's battling Pirro right along the near boards. Proctor trying to pull that away. She hits a body and still trying to grab it off of the near boards outside the near circle. Proctor trying to poke it in. Malashevsky trying to get to it. Into the near corner. Proctor centering attempt. That went off of his skate. Cleared all the way down the ice. Stopped, and that is icing. It'll head right back into the Dearborn zone. 14:39 left to go here in the third. 4-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. A 3-goal second period. Physical play all around is the linesmen and the officials talking things over. Spence comes over to plead her case, and they're going to pull that out of the Dearborn zone, and they'll have the face-off at center ice. Malashevsky in versus is Kowalski. That fired, and that goes right into the Dearborn bench. Almost picked off one of the assistant coaches there. No, I think that was Coach Puppet. Face off in the near face-off circle outside the Michigan zone. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Michigan. Here comes Ann Arbor. Fired deep. Basic trying to fire it out in front. And pulled in along the near boards as Kolwich chases it into the near corner. Kolwich goes back behind her own goal, trying to avoid pressure by Savage into the far corner. Basic rims it around outside the near circle. Trying to bring it ahead. That puck top of the near circle. Shot. Poneth steers it into the near corner for Kolwich. Kolwich trying to feed it out. Kowalski has it back behind the Ann Arbor goal. That pops right back to the near point. Finlay pulls it in. Finlay fires it top of the near circle. Kowalski with the shot. That loose. Still loose. At the feet now. Right at the near circle. Into the near corner it goes. Kowalski has it. Rimmed into the far corner. Centering attempt. That comes all the way back to the near point. Finlay. Shot right out in front. That went off of one of the Dearborn players. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Christensen down the near boards. Christensen into the Dearborn zone, into the near corner. Warren pulls that away. 13:25 left to go here in the third. 4-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. Evans trying to pull that back as the puck goes back into the Ann Arbor zone. Warren has it in the far corner of the Ann Arbor zone, trying to fire it out in front. The puck loose off the near side of the goal, now comes underneath the near circle. Bringing it ahead. And trying to hold it in is Pirro. That into the neutral zone. Lindahl chasing it. Poked back by Evers. Now trying to fire it the other direction. Rubin gets it to Lindahl. Lindahl gains the Dearborn zone. Lindahl has it poked away. Rubin comes back with a rising shot into the far corner. Evans has it, trying to feed it out in front. Piro took it off of a skate and sends it down the far boards. That's spinning on edge all the way back into the far corner of the Ann Arbor zone. Katie German trying to pull that away right back behind Pontiff. That comes over outside the near circle as Fossey sends it rimming around outside the far circle. Coming ahead with it is Evans. Evans avoids pressure, knocks it off the far boards. Bryce feeds it, but that gathered in top of the far circle. Good job to get a stick in the way by Katie German to stop a good opportunity in the slot. Here comes Bryce in along the far boards. Bryce can't get everything on it, and Soley chases it into the far corner. Matthews goes back behind her own goal, runs into Evers. That grab by Fossey. Fossey in along the end boards. Matthews trying to knock that away into the near corner. Comes outside the near circle. Swept, and that goes all the way back. Icing waved off as Dearborn tried to play it back to the point. Gathered up by Welke back behind her own goal. That banked off of the far boards into the neutral zone as Levinson buying time, waiting for Ann Arbor to touch up. Back to the far point. Collegian trying to get it going the other direction. Matthews steals it away at center ice. Matthews floats that in. Fossey knocks it right in front of the Dearborn bench. Back to Matthews, trying to pull it into the zone, over to Proctor. Proctor has that poke checked away back to the Ann Arbor blue line. McCarthy moves it over onto the far side. Here comes Proctor, top of the far circle. Proctor with a shot. Oh, it just missed the near post as one of the defenders got a skate on that. Loose on the near circle. Gargiulo trying to pull that away. Welke trying to pull it off of the near boards. McCarthy holds it, takes a shot that goes wide to the near side. Levinson holds it in at the far point. Fossey has it in the far corner of her own zone. Fossey sends it into the neutral zone. Now Eliason knocks it off the near board for Proctor. Proctor coming in, trying to put it back. That deflected back into the neutral zone as Ann Arbor was taking a defensive line change over to Izzy German. Izzy German head to Gargiulo. That rimmed all the way around the boards over to Eliason in the far corner. 10:36 left to go. Delayed penalty upcoming to University of Michigan Dearborn. Slashing the call. Tripping the call. As into the box goes Kowalski at the 10:33 mark. 4-1, Ann Arbor with the lead, and now they have the extra attacker for the next 2 minutes. As that puck back to the near point, Katie German with it. Katie German skates high slot with the shot. Saved by Hahn. Hahn has been very good. Another shot, Hahn covers it up. High quality goaltending on both sides of the ice. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Swanson in to take the face-off versus Kowalski. That puck shot all the way outside of the far circle. Trying to fire it at it. Savage held in by Evans at the far point. Battle for it on the far wall as Zafman had it. Back to Evans. Now Katie German has it at the high slot. That poked away. Kowalski in a foot race. Evans gets back, trying to cut the angle down. Evans able to poke it into the far corner. Good job on defense right out in front. Katie German pulls it back behind her own goal. Savage trying to knock it away. 1 minute, 21 seconds left to go in the Ann Arbor power play. Swanson brings it in. Swanson chasing it. Now Lindahl into the near corner of the Dearborn zone. Trying to pull that away is Zafman. That's going to be interference to call. At 9:44, into the box goes Spence. And it is going to be a long 5-on-3, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Well, Ann Arbor has a chance to cash in now as Dearborn is going to try and kill that off and take the momentum and try and make a big comeback. Levinson has it right in front of her own goal, bringing it ahead over to Gargiulo. Gargiulo down the near boards. 57 seconds left to go on the 5-on-3. Gargiulo outside the far circle. Gargiulo moves it back to the far point. That over to Levinson. Now Matthews has it. top of the near circle. Matthews goes over top of the far circle. Outside the far circle to Gargiulo. Gargiulo trying to move it out in front to Proctor. Proctor avoids pressure, gets it back to Levinson, high slot shot that deflected off of a skate. Here comes a breakaway. Sinsoli coming. Proctor out to challenge, and Proctor with a save! Oh my, Sinsoli did everything she could to that's right, just called Proctor. It was Ponith with huge save. Ponith, amazing as always. Ponith did such a fantastic job pulling away, stealing a goal away from Dearborn there. Otherwise, it was a beautiful shot, and Ponith just did a great job. Now, Lindahl the other direction, and she scores! Coming in again from the near side, going across the crease, and able to backhand it in. And it's 5-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. That'll take one penalty off the board. We'll be back to 5-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 4 seconds. Lindahl with her second goal of the game. Right, she didn't score earlier. Yep, second goal of the game. The hero of last night has cashed in twice today. And at 8:48, that is just a wicked shot and great movement. And Hahn did a good job, but there's only one Ponith out there who can just make insane saves. That comes all the way back. Katie German has it back behind her own goal. Katie German brings it at for Ann Arbor. Now Peril holds it in. That slips back into the neutral zone. Dearborn will touch up. Peril, again with heavy speed. Katie German has it back behind her own goal, coming underneath the far circle. Katie German now spins away, trying to get some room away from Peril. Moves it over to Rubin. Rubin sends it down the far boards. Bringing ahead is Evans. That puck just got away from her, poked away. And now losing an edge was Katie German, bringing it in Evans. Evans at the far point. Evans pinned against the boards. That is going to be an illegal body check, I believe. Nope, tripping was the call. As that is going to into the box is warm at 8:01. As the penalties continue, Dearborn will be shorthanded by 2 players for 17 seconds. So again, big advantage for Ann Arbor here. Matthews, top of the near circle. Dearborn has been really good on the power penalty kill. And into the near corner, Matthews has it outside the near circle. They have really made it hard on Ann Arbor on special teams. That back, Matthews trying to feed it into the slot, coming over to Creasy. That bounces right back behind Hahn. Coming ahead with it is Zafman. All the way back. First penalty has expired. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. In the 5-on-4, Ann Arbor advantage. Bringing ahead is Levinson down the far boards. Proctor has it in along the far boards, trying to hit that away. That was poked back away by Welke. Now swept to the blue line, but Ann Arbor able to hold it in. Now that's fired by Zafman. Right back and trying to get to it, Schroeder. Trying to get a breakaway. Levinson gets good positioning. Add into the near corner. Trying to pull that back was Matthews. Now Vandenheuvel trying to get it away from Gargiulo. That swept into the far corner of the Ann Arbor zone. 55 seconds left to go in the Ann Arbor advantage. Back over as Schroeder gets it in along the near board. Zafman sends it back deep into the Ann Arbor zone. Katie German has it. Banks it off the near boards. Vandenheuvel trying to pull that away. Katie German. Cross-ice pass. Here comes Evans up the far boards. Now back over to Katie German over her own blue line. Katie German trying to avoid pressure by Kowalski. Back over to Evans, top of the far circle. Evans into the far corner. Goes back behind her own goal before being pinched against the boards. Trying to pull that away is Swanson into the near corner. Lindahl pulling that away as well as Vandenheuvel. Zafman trying to get that back. Penalty upcoming. Katie German has it. And is going to be a delayed penalty coming up to Dearborn with 2 seconds left to go. As that's going to be a cross-checking penalty to Dearborn. as Zafman goes into the box at 6:02. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Swanson in versus Kowalski. And puck hold top of the near circle by Evans. Evans feeds it high slot over to Katie German. First penalty has expired. 5-on-4 now for Ann Arbor as that skitters all the way back into the Ann Arbor zone. Katie German has it back behind her own goal. On it slides back into the crease. Katie German puts it in along the near boards. Racing ahead with it is Rubin. Rubin over center ice. Rubin gains the zone on the near circle. Rubin goes back behind. Hahn now outside the far circle. 1 minute, 27 seconds left to go in the advantage for Ann Arbor. 5:25 left to go here in the third. The puck back to center ice. Pulling it back over Katie German. Katie German feeds it ahead. That tipped by Lindahl. Now Ann Arbor going for a line change. Matthews chases it back behind. Spinning the other direction is Spence. Spence trying to deal with Gargiulo. That puck knocked off of the far boards. Now Garbasic trying to get it out of the zone. Now back into the neutral zone. Kolwich drifts back to her own blue line. Kolwich ahead to Matthews. Then pulled over by Proctor. Fed in along the far boards. Back to Kolwich at her own blue line. Over center ice. Kolwich. Top of the far circle. Kolwich slides over and along the far circle. Spence with it there. Pinned against the boards. 40 seconds left to go in the advantage to Ann Arbor. 4:40 left to go here in this, the third period. Fired all the way down the ice. Cleared. Again, the skilled penalty kill by Dearborn. DeCreasy has it in along the near boards. DeCreasy over her own blue line. That pass all the way back over, and that is going to be icing as that just missed the outlet. And that'll head back into the Ann Arbor zone. 4:21 left to go. We have a game tomorrow from Concordia. That is going to be at Chelsea, Arctic Coliseum in Chelsea. Again, we mentioned it before, but we a lot of the times have bad signal there, so we will record the game. We'll do a audio broadcast as well. Katie German fires it around, and then worst case we'll upload the video afterwards. DeCreasy outside the far circle into the far corner. DeCreasy trying to fire it out in front. On tight to that far post. Top of the far circle. It is Proctor. Proctor feeds it into the near corner. And pulled back over. Malashevsky battling in there versus Finlay. Trying to get it back. Top of the far circle for Izzy German. Shot and covered up by Hahn. 5-1. Ann Arbor with the lead over Dearborn. 3:45 left to go. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Hahn's right. Comes back top of the far circle. Shot deflected in the slot. Now pulling it. Evers trying to feed it ahead. Katie German at her own blue line. Ricochets it off the far boards. Goldman puts it into the Dearborn zone into the far corner. And pulled back over. Goldman puts it on the far circle. Pulled back away by Sensoli. Sensoli skies it over. Evers into the neutral zone. Knocked away by Izzy German. Now Katie German in along the near board. She backhands it deep. As there's a whistle. And that just from the wrong side of center ice, just by about an inch. So that will be icing and head back into the Ann Arbor zone with 3:11 left to go here in the third. 5-1 Ann Arbor with the lead. Hero in to take the face off. On the other side is Matthews. That puck top of the near circle over. Evers with a shot that just goes wide to the near side. Katie German brings it down the far boards. That fed all the way down. I don't know if it tipped anyone. Nope, it will be icing. That'll head right back into the Ann Arbor zone with 2:57 left to go here in the third. Next game for this Ann Arbor squad, as we said, tomorrow at 2 o'clock from the Arctic Coliseum. We will do everything we can to try and have a video broadcast. Worst case, we'll have an audio broadcast. We will upload that after the fact if necessary. So we had a high school game from there last night, and it had its moments. It was a great game. But for the most part, I think we didn't have horrible connections. So we'll see what happens. Every outing is an adventure when you have hot spots involved. 2:57 left to go here in the third. Timeout called by University of Michigan Dearborn. They're trying to make something happen here late in this contest. Ann Arbor trying to close things out, put a couple wins together against a 15th ranked University of Michigan Dearborn team. Trying to add to that strength of schedule and huge CCWHA points as well. As that comes back into the far face-off circle in the Ann Arbor zone, Rubin in to take the face-off. Vandenheuvel on the other side. Well, we've seen no quit in the Wolverines from Dearborn as they'll continue to play very hard. Pledging has it outside the near circle. That brought ahead by Lindahl. Lindahl makes a move, trying to get past. Lindahl on the near circle, looking for the hat trick into the near corner. Lindahl pokes it back to McCarthy. McCarthy fires it into the far corner. Fossey has it there, sweeps it ahead to Vandenheuvel. Vandenheuvel over center ice down the far boards. Add into the far corner. Trying to pull it away is Rubin. Rubin back behind her own goal, rims it around the boards. Lindahl gets it back into the neutral zone. Gathered up by Schroeder at her own blue line. Schroeder moves it over to Fossey and along the far boards. That into the neutral zone. Collegian has it over center ice. Collegian gains the Ann Arbor zone. Top of the near circle. Driven wide by McCarthy. Shot that knocked away. Good save by Poneth, and she wasn't sure. She looked behind her. See if it had managed to sneak in. Right back in along the end boards. McCarthy picks it up underneath the far circle. 1 minute 54 seconds left to go. Intercepted by Schroeder. Or no, excuse me, that was Elizabeth Chaffron. Offside's the call. That's going to come outside the Ann Arbor zone. Tough break for Dearborn as they had a good opportunity. Kowalski in to take the face-off versus Matthews. Bringing it in is Spence. Spence has it. Top of the near circle. Spence feeds it. High slot. Over Kowalski with the shot. High slot. Saved by Poneth. Into the near corner. Spence has that poked away. Now Matthews outside the near circle. 1 minute 30 seconds left to go here in the third. Pulled back by Spence. This is the last time these two teams will meet in the regular season. They very well could meet in the CCWHA playoffs, depending on how things break out. DeCreasy outside the far circle. And puck loose, gathering it in. Kowalski trying to get it out of the zone down the far boards into the neutral zone. Katie German has it at her own blue line. Banks it off the near board into the Dearborn end where Spence feeds it right back into the neutral zone. Less than a minute left to go. Matthews has it at her own blue line spinning. Picked up by Katie German over center ice. Katie German fires it deep. That goes just to the far side of the goal as Ann Arbor gets a line change with 45 seconds left to go. Proctor has it pinned in against the end boards. Elizabeth Chaffron trying to knock that away. Comes high slot for Colwich. Colwich skating in, now top of the far circle. Gets it back. Now Colwich feeding it. Shot saved by Hahn. Cargiulo looking for a rebound. That comes back in along the near boards. 24 seconds left to go. Here comes Pirro. Pirro comes top of the far circle. Shot glove saved by Poneth. 17.3 seconds left to go. Ann Arbor looks to come away with the win here, but Dearborn has proven that they are a dangerous team in these two games. They will absolutely have some success during this season. Top of the near circle. Zafman with a shot and a save by Poneth. 9:02 left to go. Face-off in the near face-off circle. They have fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing and head back for 2.5 seconds left. Final face-off of the game. Ann Arbor will take the win. I do want to thank my camera person, Christina Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Again, we'll be back on air about 15 minutes before game time tomorrow at 1:45. Top of the near circle, spinning that shot into the far corner. And that will do it. Ann Arbor wins. A hard-nosed battle between these two teams. Wolverine versus Wolverine action, and Ann Arbor comes away with the win. We will let you go enjoy, hopefully enjoy the Big Ten Championship game tonight, fingers crossed, for football. Again, we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 1:45 and for a 2 o'clock game versus Concordia Ann Arbor. Thank you very much for watching, for supporting these teams, and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday.